Okay, so we are baking for the first time today with our new silicone mat. I have used these before, and I love these things so much. And I'll show you. This is a silicone that had promised absolutely no staining and no sticking. It lied its little butt off. Within the very first use, I got staining. And as far as sticking and discolorations, I have used caustic oven cleaners to try and scrub off some of this to no avail. I mean, obviously it gets some of it, but some of it's always going to stay there. So it lied. Whereas these, I find they are so easy to clean and everything just slides right off. And in the past, mine have not stained. We're going to see and make sure that these don't either. Now this is a pretty large one. You'll see here are two different cookie sheets. This is, I think, your average, and this is a smaller. Here on the average size cookie sheet, you'll see that this is a little bit too big. Obviously it's going to be way too big for the smaller one, but it fits a flat tray perfectly.
Ooh. I think those could go for maybe a minute.
I think they're quite brown. Pull them out.
I almost slapped myself with the glove.
Now in the past I always had to loosen them up right away from the pan and then let them sit for a minute and then take a spatula and transfer them over to the cooling rack. And that way they came out perfect. I have noticed with these, as long as you're not undercooking, which it doesn't look like it visually, but I did, you can see they're all mushy. So they're a little undercooked. That's probably because they're 99% chocolate. Anyways, then as long as you don't do that, you can just let it sit until it cools just enough. As you know, if you're not rushing batch after batch, you can let it cool, just give it a little twist, and then lift off, and that's fine. And I no longer have to use a spatula and a cooling rack to get them off. I simply wait until they cool and then twist. Chocolate chip will never be able to stay off because that's just the way it is. And that's how easy it is. And I don't see any staining. Now here's a really good test on staining. Burnt the snot out of them. I just rub a little bit of dish soap around on it with the sponge, with the scratchy part of the sponge, just to make it a quick process. But because this is so slippery, first of all, it feels really weird to wash because it's so slippery, so that's what makes it so that nothing sticks to it. To dry it, I simply set it on my dish towel. And to speed the process up, I roll my dish towel. Just sort of hugging that all up. Drying my hands. And cleaned. I can see the light going through it, but it's not really stained per se. It's not dirty, but I did burn the cookies on it pretty badly. I took off to the store and forgot I had anything in the oven because that's how good I am in the kitchen. But really still doesn't look stained, just a different see-throughness.